In other news, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is meeting Azeri President Ilham Aliyev. This as almost 3,000 refugees have now entered Armenia after fleeing Nagorno-Karabakh, an enclave in Azerbaijan populated by ethnic Armenians. It comes after a military offensive led by Azerbaijani troops last week, which resulted in a ceasefire. Baku saying that it would integrate the territory while guaranteeing the rights of its Armenian residents. However, Armenia has already been voicing fears of an ethnic cleansing. Joining me from London is Alissa De Carbonnel from the International Crisis Group. Alissa, thank you so much for your time. In terms of Armenians now fleeing the territory, what is the situation like on the ground right now?
Well, residents in Nagorno-Karabakh have been already dealing with about 9 months of an effective blockade that's led to a humanitarian crisis in the region. So before the Azerbaijani military operation, there were already shortages of fuel, problems with accessing even just bread and medical supplies. And this military offensive, this lightning 24-hour takeover, which led to a forced ceasefire by the de facto authorities, has really aggravated that situation. And while Azerbaijan has announced that it is sending humanitarian supplies and has announced a number of measures like restoring energy supplies and sending fuel, residents there really have deep mistrust, and many of them would rather leave than wait and see whether they could live or under Azerbaijani rule.
And Armenia is calling for international presence on the ground. Is that likely to happen?
Azerbaijan has really rejected making the fate of residents of Nagorno-Karabakh part of its peace talks with Armenia or any kind of international mediation of its relationship with residents there, because it sees the enclave of ethnic Armenians as part of its territory, even though they have had self-rule for a number of years since the first war that Armenia fought with Azerbaijan in the 90s. So it's really unlikely that they would be willing to easily accept an international presence. However, we really hope that there will be access for international humanitarian organizations.
In the meantime, what will be the political repercussions in Armenia?
Well, a lot of people are really angry at Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan because they feel like he hasn't done enough. This is the third war over the enclave, and there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of history. A lot of people feel really disappointed and defeated that ethnic Armenians there are having to leave or are leaving because they fear what comes next. So there's a lot of anger, and it's uncertain how long and how serious those protests will be for Pashinyan's future hold on power.